Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man. Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. I'm out of breath. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Eric Oakley, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Serving up that Honolulu blue favorite Kool-Aid. Drink it in. You know it's delicious. Drink it in, man. Side cornbread.
Cornbread!
Make it a double.
Cornbread!
I almost hit the crickets button instead of the cornbread button, but Chops, you're here. We are 10 days away, if my math's correct. Thursday of next week will be round one of the NFL draft. Lions picking at 17, or are they moving up? Are they going back? They're picking at 50. Are they packaging picks? Are they going to get some primetime players? Are we being the old head scratcher from Brad Holmes? So much to talk about, buddy. The Oakley mock dropped last week. Who knows what's going to happen this week? And then we're going to be in prep mode because next Thursday, me and you on the mic for about 8 hours straight talking about those. What's going on, Choppy?
Oakley, man, it's like the buildup is here. We're like T minus, like you said, like 10 or 8 days. I don't even know. I can't do the math. Like, I got names and positions and, you know, this edge and this tackle and this. I'm having dreams about the hashtag NFL Draft 2026. You better be like, look, you got to make sure you have the lozenges, you got the water, maybe a little Gatorade to stay hydrated because we got a lot of talking to do. You know, we record for like you said, man, it's like 8 to 12 hours. We release it for the people, but like we got takes. You know, the thing about the draft that I love, Oakley, is, you know, not only do we focus on our Lions, but we sit there and we make like bold picks for other teams that are coming in going, what are they doing here? Why are they always taking these terrible? What are the Raiders doing now? What a bunch of idiots. You know, it's just, I can't wait for it, man. I'm so excited. But today, you know, we're going to focus on the hashtag Choppy Maki. Let's go.
Oh boy, I knew Chops I had a mock in his back pocket. And people, just so you know, I mean, don't let this guy fool you. What he does is he kind of like slow plays me in Oakley. You know, I'm traveling. I got 18 hockey tournaments. My kids are all stars. They're in, Little Caesars and honey baked hams or whatever the hell that is. And he's like, you know, I'll get to the draft sheet work at some point. Yet we 10 days away. We really have both been struggling. Then what he does is he has the old Oakley mock come out first. You want to know why? So he can kind of see where I'm thinking, who I like, all my takes. And then he sort of slyly changes a few things, kind of ducks a few players that maybe over a week or so he's heard, doesn't like so much, not so good. Then he'll come on here this week, do a choppy mocky, and tell everybody, you know, look at how smart I am. I told you so. Oakley, you don't know what you're talking about. Yet when I rewind the tape, he loved my mock. We had a great pod. Like, I'm hip to your game, Chops. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hey, listen. You know, the hashtag Choppy Maki 1.0 is no slight or dig at the Oakley mock because look, I think it was a great show last week. I think I got a lot of comments, a lot of feedback. Look. Version 1 of your mock draft was great. I had takes on all those players. They were guys I'd heard of, most of them. Had the stats I was able to pull up. So, you know, just because I've kind of come up with my own hashtag Choppy Maki here doesn't mean that that's any dig on yours. But I'm sure you'll take the opportunity to go, hey, Choppy, what was your overall grade from the PFF simulator there, buddy? And, you know, we'll go back and forth a little bit, but let's have some fun with this.
Now, Chops, normally we say we don't have time to mess around, which we don't, or you usually say, let's go, something like that. But, like, I have a quick Oakley draft rant before you get into this mock. Do you want to hear this?
Oh, buddy, we've always got time to mess around, but we never have time to mess around. But I got time for a rant here. Let's go, Oakrey.
Chops, as we're talking about it, and I'm goofing on you for stealing some of this, and you got this opinion, you're going to move this around, like, is it just me, or have you listened to, like, multiple pods, national media, local radio, and, like, you'll literally turn on one show and you'll hear, Caden Proctor is the most talented offensive tackle in the class. You flip over to the next channel. I don't know if I'd even take Caden Proctor at 50. You move it over to the other one. I think he's a better guard. Hey, this guy's going to be 400 pounds. Eat himself out of the league. Oh, wait, no, he's if he's there at 10, I'd be surprised. Like, and that's just one example. I'm just using Proctor because I threw him out. And it really gets my brain going of like, who do you trust? What do you take? I don't have time to watch 20 hours of tape or highlight. I mean, YouTube on these guys, but it's like my brain's going crazy. And this is like one player out of 50 where like, I swear I get 50 of one, 50 of the other, half dozen of one, half dozen of the other. It's like, I don't understand how these people that are watching the same things, they're seeing the same stats, they're seeing the same measurables, or like one guy has this guy as a top 10 no doubt Hall of Famer, and the same guy on the next channel he can't play, he's slow, he's no good. Like, what is happening? I mean, I feel like it's more than ever now of just polarizing takes, and I'm trying to dice through all the BULA. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Well, hey, look, there's 32 teams out there, and they're all getting ready to draft, and they all have different boards. So I'm not surprised that the Todd McShays and this guy and that guy all got different opinions, and this guy's a bust. No, this guy. Hey, again, and if you go back and you look at the record here, and guys like, oh, hey, remember when Collinsworth said this quarterback was going to be the best of all time, and the guy like couldn't even get a start in the NFL? Like, it's all this crazy talk, like. But it's the best part of this, man, because we sit here, we look at this, you look at, 250 guys that are getting drafted here in the next 10 days, and some of them are going to be good, and some of them are going to be crap, and some of them are going to be like, woo, I took that guy, and other guys will be like, huh? Who? What?
That's why I brought it up, too, to start the show, because that is why the NFL draft is my favorite sporting event of the year. You got to parse through it all. You got to come up with your own thoughts, your own opinions on draft day. And what happens, Chops? We do it live on the clock. No revisionist history. No I told you so's. No I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. We just call it as we see it. We make our picks. We live with them, whether they're Hall of Famers or working at the bowling alley. That's what we do here on this show. We've been doing it for years, doing it big. Love talking draft. Can't wait. Favorite few days of the year. Anybody, if you're out there, work, personal, otherwise, please don't bother me on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even I need some Monday recap, then you can bother me again. Chops, let's do this.
All right, Oaker, are you going to hit the music for me here? I mean, we got to go. Are we going to get the people a little hyped up or what?
I said, let's go. Are you ready?
Let's go. Yeah, hit the music. That's the cue. We're ready to go.
There you go. I mean, tee it up a little bit. Get people excited.
Get the teaser. Get the teaser. Right. Now I'm in the mood. Now I'm in my Brad Holmes. I'm open for business. I'm ready to go. Oakrey, let's jump right in. We don't have time to mess around, even though we already messed around. With the 17th pick in the 2026 Detroit Lions draft, we select tackle Blake Miller from Clemson. We've talked about this guy before. Let me cue it up a little bit here before I get your feedback. I think this guy slots right in to the starting right tackle position. We can shift Penne over to the left, and we now have a new cornerstone for the next 9+ years to take over for Decker. This is the guy, dude, this guy is like a Dan freaking Campbell kind of guy. Big, mean, durable, nasty, loves to put people down in the dirt. I think this dude is just a perfect grit fit for the Lions at 17.
Chops, I'd love to beat you up, but I can't. I love this selection. I actually was coming on this pod today going, if the Lions go tackle, which, to be honest, I know it's a huge need. I know we want to shore up that O-line. Every Joe Schmo fan is like, you fix the O-line, it fix the run game, protects your quarterback, all that stuff. But I feel like edge is the bigger need, but I don't love the edges. Blake Miller, to me, is like the safe.
Looking for a simple way to thank your clients or recognize employees for a job well done? A Starbucks card is more than a gift. It's a pick-me-up, a break in their day, and a reminder that you appreciate them. Whether you're shopping for digital or physical cards in bulk, Starbucks cards are the perfect gift to brighten anyone's day. Share the joy of coffee and connection when you give the gift of Starbucks. Shop Starbucks cards in bulk now at starbuckscardb2b.com.
Fist pick. This guy is like 22, I heard here recently. He started like 55 plus games in college in a row, by the way. I think he missed one half of one practice or something. So, as you said, the toughness is there. The durability is there. Oh, by the way, he's a right tackle. Fits in beautifully. I just think this player is about as safe as they come, and if you've heard me talk, which I know you normally doze off and I'm giving this wisdom to you, like, this kid is almost as safe as could be. He has nice upside, but also just a clean, good prospect that can really play football, and depending on what other options are there, it'd be hard maybe, but if some of your top guys are no longer available, this is an easy pick for me to make here at 17. Love it.
Yeah, this guy is my number 3 tackle on the board. I love this kid. I think he fits. And again, like you said, he's got the stats, but not only does he have the stats, he's got the mentality. I think he's just a great culture fit too. So for me, this is a no-brainer. Blake Miller out of Clemson. You take him, you put him in there, you solidify the rest of your O-line there. You've got the young cats in the middle, and then you got your 2 studs on the outside with Blake and Penny, and I think you just roll with it, baby. I'm excited. I'd love to take this guy.
And it's always like people overlook mentality. Plus, they always want the home run or bust, or they want the swag, the flash. But like, this guy just seems like he fits a need, the right type of player at that position, has all the intangibles. Plus, like, you don't want to miss in the mid first round. You don't want to take a guy who has trouble off the field, hurt all the time, Brad Holmes, or has other issues. And I feel like Blake Miller has a lot of things covered. Obviously, no prospect is bulletproof or foolproof, but I like the chops, safe, good selection here. What do we got in round 2 at pick 50?
Yeah, Oakery, round 2, pick 50, 2026 NFL Draft. The hashtag choppy mocky Lions take R. Mason Thomas, edge, Oklahoma. Now, I hope, folks, if you haven't done your homework on Mason Thomas, you better go do it, because this dude, he's got a motor. He's got an explosive first step. Again, this is another one. Anytime I read somebody who goes relentless motor, uber aggressive, how else can what else can you say about, woo, let's go. On the other side of Hutch, give me a dude who's just going to have a relentless motor. Hutch draws the extra attention. It's a big position of need at edge. I like this guy. Again, this is just a dude. He's got burst and bend off the outside edge. Take it. Let's go. Oklahoma, you know how they grow him down there. He played big boy competition. Great stats. Great PFF numbers. Again, a 3-year starting out of Oklahoma. R. Mason Thomas.
Chops. Every year when the draft comes around, one of the big things we do is look for incredible names in the draft. This dude's name is R. It's not even a name, it's a letter. Like, have we ever seen that in draft history? That may be a first. This guy didn't even need a name. He only goes by one letter. This isn't even like a Madonna situation. This is a just call me R and we're good. And R. Mason Thomas is an incredible name all the way across the board. Now, that's what he has going for him. I concur with some of the things you said. I don't know that I love that he's 6'2", 240 pounds. Doesn't feel like a Lions build, but that might be a good thing, because in case you wondered or watched the last couple years, we getting people that are 6'5", 275 that are in the ER all day or can't play or fat, that can't do anything. So like R. Mason is a smaller guy. He does have hustle. I've heard good things. He's on the fringe of like the Oakrey second round targets. He's actually not on my little short board of kind of like my main targets, but every time I listen, I hear about him. I kind of hear good things, and as long as they can figure out how to use that type of build instead of these big body run stuffers or whatever, like, I think it'd be a nice change. Because in case you didn't know, we need to get after the quarterback, because we got a guy. His name is Aiden Hutchinson.
Unleash Hutch.
And we want to be playing the music more, but we need another guy and get after the quarterback as well. Hey, Dan Freaky Campbell, do you think R and Hutch can get to work?
Unleash Hutch. I'm ready to unleash Hutch.
Exactly. Unleash R. There you go.
Love it. Love it. Aiden and Mason. There we go, buddy. And again, that's actually, you hit on a point there too. And I think he's not that prototypical guy that we've been running on the other side. So he is a little bit smaller, but he's got some flexibility up and down the line as well. So, the guy played just as many snaps against the pass as he did the run. So he can stop the run as well. Good scores on both of those. So I like this player. I think he can come in here. And again, I just love that motor and that bend that he's got. So, again, big position of need here. I think R just handles his business for the Lions.
So you covered our tackle, our edge. This is where it gets a little dicey. Not only do you not get a pick in round 3, got to wait till 118, but you got to do work now in rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 with picks that aren't easy plug and plays like everybody going edge and tackle. I'm not going to totally complain about it, because I did it as well. But now you got to put in the work. What diamonds are we finding? What value are we getting with these other picks? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, here we go, buddy. This is where it gets fun, right? This is where you really got to do your research. You really got to do your homework. You got to know what you're talking about. And in the 4th round, at pick 118, the hashtag Choppy Maki walks up to the podium and selects Takario Davis, corner from the Washington Huskies. This dude is long. He is physical. He is a strong in press coverage. Again, he's fit. He loves his physicality. This is another dude that just fits the Lions mentality. Physical, tough, willing to hit. Again, I think not a ton of interceptions, but I'm okay with that, because he was really just a shutdown guy. I think he only allowed like less than 150 yards against this dude in all of football last year. I know his season was cut a little bit short, but this guy, again, mostly corner. He can play a little bit in the slot and in the box, but give me some Takario Davis, and hopefully I got his name right there.
Another good name selection. I don't know about the player. I have no takes, really. He hasn't been on my pods. I haven't really done my research. You know what I did do, Chops? This is a little bit of breaking news.
There we go.
You know how I do the Oakrey Scouting Office, and I got you on the 1800 tab Google Sheet. You know how we do that? Split it up?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I checked into that thing about 2 days before the draft. But I hear it exists.
Yeah, the one you haven't done any work on? Yeah. So we put that together, and I'm doing the old school. I got the magnets. I got the old fun bachelor pad here that I'm working. I have now resorted to, like, old man, just crotchety old draft guy after about 8-10 plus years of doing this now. I'm going with a binder this year. I created a binder with the Dane Brugler Beast, and I put it by positions of importance, and I have about probably 800 pages of reading to do between now and the draft, so wish me luck with that. But I literally have a physical binder with tabs that I'm going to try to put some work in. I got a couple highlighters. I'm going to take some notes, going to do some reading if I can find extra, 5 hours. I'm going to try to put it in. But what do you think about that breaking news? A physical old school binder this year.
So I think what you're saying is breaking news. Oakrey's got a physical binder, and the Lions get a physical a physical corner who loves to tackle in Takario Davis. So I think both the key word there is physical, and again aggressive. So I like it. I like it.
I think I'm embarrassed that I've went that, but like I said, I need the tangible. Like if I'm gonna read about these players, I need to be able to scratch up the page and find out who these guys are. I can't do it on a little iPad or these freaking things we're trying to do. So yeah, I think you need to do a little reading as well, Chops. But I have done no reading on Takario, your boy from Washington. I want to ask you about corners because the more I've been looking, like we have a lot of bodies out there. I mean, you look at Terrion, you look at DJ, that's my DJ. You look at, the guys we brought in. We've got guys coming back. We have young cats out there. Like to me, it's a lot of people. And the minute you take a player, even if you think he's a little bit of an upgrade, like you can't really move out bodies that we've either put a little bit into with free agency or high draft capital. So as much as I want a corner and think that, I've been projecting 1-2 in round 4 that I like a lot, but I mean, they really got to be that guy. I mean, you think this guy's going to start over one of those two? You think, does he have slot capabilities? Because if he's just a big outside corner, it's like, I feel like we already got 2-3 plus bodies there, and I need to be able to put this guy somewhere. Like I said, I need starters, productive guys, not backup projects. So,
you know what you need this guy to do, Okri? You need this guy to be able to cover a coffee table. That's what you need him to do, okay? Because you just rolled through some names there. And look, I do like Roger McCreary. I think that's a nice ad. Right. Carry on loves to talk a big game, but can he actually stay out on the field? Can he actually produce? DJ, that's my DJ. That was like my number one, let's go get this guy free agent last year. Struggled a bit at times, and then I think he came off with an injury. You know how I feel about Rock Your Son. I bet it's really sin. But, so look, I think that Takario has a good chance to come in here and potentially be a starter. Maybe not day one, but if he's pushing the envelope there and he can actually cover with that big body, I'm signing him up. Let's go.
Okay. One thing you're lacking too on this pod, Chops, not that I'm trying to overly critique you, but you really haven't left me much room for drops. You've said your picks without letting me do this. You're going through You're going through nicknames and you're not letting me say things like this, like, hey, TA, where are you AT? Where are you going to be AT come football season? Hopefully at the Allen Park headquarters. You also mentioned DJ.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I got the drops in. Now I want to just circle back to one more thing before you keep going. I know you don't have them in front of you, but were there other round 4 options that tantalized you? Because I feel like round 4, pick 118 as well as the next 4th rounder are very nice spots where we got to find a player. Some of these other positions that we want, some are there, some aren't. You got the depth tight end. Do you have a linebacker there that you like? Do we have safeties that intrigue you? I heard Jeff Risdon say that he's getting Bud Clark at that pick. Were there other people that jumped out, or were you just like, I love Takario, gotta have a corner that can cover a coffee table, this is my guy, take him?
Yeah, there's a couple of corners in that range that I liked. I mean, again, your boy Kilroy was still hanging there, but I have Takario raised it a little bit higher than him. I know you'll differ with that.
Did you
some
watch
of those
tape?
other stud safeties that I think that they'd just coming off the board in like the early hundreds. So to me, this was a no-brainer. I've watched this kid at Washington. I mean, not going to tell you I sat down and broke down a bunch of his tape, but definitely productive college there. And he played some big boy competition in the Big Ten out at Washington. So I like this guy here at 118.
I know we got to keep this rolling, Choppy, but is it just me, or when you pull him up on the old YouTube, is it very rare that you pull up a guy on YouTube that you either want to like or that you think the Lions may have a chance at, and by the time you watch about anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes of film, quote unquote, like, are you not just fired up about the player or what? Because I know when I pulled out Jalen Kilgore, he reminded me a lot of my boy Brian Branch. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I love it's always a good fun thing to pull up the little 5-minute collegiate highlights from Takario Davis, and then they just show all the things where he was amazing. They missed the spots where he like flew by a guy, missed a tackle,
right,
got roasted, toasted, and extra crispy. They conveniently leave that out, but hey, it's fun to get that YouTube action going.
That was the point. Like, you ever throw it on, and you're like, oh, this guy's no good. You're always like, ooh, I like you. Hashtag him. Yeah. I'm good with it, though. So you got a tackle. You got yourself an edge, a corner. Sounds very familiar to last week. Where are we going here? I believe in round 4 as well.
All right. Well, if you got the sound drop ready here in the fourth round, pick 128. The hashtag Choppy Maki Lions select.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
This episode is brought to you by MGM Plus. From and its Horrors returns for season 4, centered around a town that traps all those who enter. Terrifying creatures that come out at night. Horrors some wished had stayed buried. Where desperate hope leads to darker truths. Dangerous new arrivals, a sinister figure, a shocking revelation. From season 4 premieres April 19th on MGM Plus. Some doors should remain closed.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
Amazon presents Jeff versus Taco Truck Salsa. Whether it's Verde, Roja, or the orange one. For Jeff, trying any salsa is like playing Russian roulette with a flamethrower. Luckily, Jeff saved with Amazon and stocked up on antacids, ginger tea, and milk. Habanero? More like habanero, yes. Save the everyday with Amazon.
Bryce Botcher, linebacker, Oregon. This is a dude that I love. He flies sideline to sideline, high motor, super smart, tough dude, reliable tackler. I think this guy was a defensive captain at Oregon, another Big Ten boy. He's got, he can drop back in coverage. He can defend the run. I like this dude a lot. He's another one that just flies off the tape for me. And I think this is like the kind of dude that like Dan freaking Campbell loves because he's just gritty, loves to hit, and he's tough.
I actually did not mean to hit the fail sign on you, Chappie. That was a miss. That was a typo by me while I was trying to pull up your boy. This is another player. I mean, I don't know if you've been doing the homework or you're throwing blind darts, because I listen to a lot of content. I've read, I've seen. This is not a player that's on the Oak Crew radar of a target, a guy that people have had a little buzz about. Doesn't mean he's not good. What kind of size does this cat have? What is he, outside? Is he middle backer? What is he here?
He's 6'2", 230, senior, 23 years old, primarily played in the box. But again, he can drop back in coverage. He can hit the run too. Let's see here. What else we got? Big tackle numbers, almost 100 tackles this year alone in 15 games at Oregon. So loves to hit, buddy. Huge depth behind Jack Campbell and your boy, Rodrigo! And that other guy who can't spell his name right.
All right, so that was the live version, right?
Oh, yeah, that was the live version if you want to hit the drop.
Rodrigo!
Yeah, I don't know what Derek Barnes doing with his first name. That's just ridiculous. But I really think I'm torn on linebacker. Like, we need a body, no question. What type? And again, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do you think this guy has, like, special qualities? Like, does he get after the quarterback? Does he take the ball away? Or is he just a tackling type linebacker? Because I feel like if you're replacing Fabio, you need either a coverage guy, even though, like, often Fabio is getting roasted, toasted, extra crispy. You need a guy that's somewhat of a leader. You just don't need a tackle 10 yards down the field type player. So if this guy can get after the quarterback or get the football out, like Jack Campbell is starting to do a little bit more, that'd be intriguing. But I don't know. I just don't know where I put linebacker. I think it's like, fifth or sixth kind of on my needs shopping list, but I think we still definitely need a player there.
Yeah, his pass rush improved in 2025, so he wasn't really used much against rushing the quarterback, but he did get a decent amount of snaps there where he was rushing the QB. But again, for me, he's just like, again, he's got speed and he's all over the place. Like, he's just one of those guys. Put on some tape, man. Watch him. You'll see, like, he's flying everywhere. You see him in the backfield, and all of a sudden, or he's on one sideline, he's running across, and getting a ball on a hand, or hands on a ball that's going to a tight end. So, or if the catch is made, he's smashing the guy into the ground. So, again, bit all over the place. Plays the slot on the line, in the box, primarily in the box, but. I'm the same way. Like, look, when you're talking about late fourth round, are you talking about a dude that's a surefire starter? Maybe not, because I do like our linebacking core, but I think this is a great replacement for Fabio, and then the leadership qualities that he has to really stand out to me.
Yeah, like I was going to ask you kind of what your approach is, because I'm not the biggest guy where it's just like throwing away fourth rounders, but I'm not saying these guys are sure. I'm almost looking for like real opportunities to make a dent though on the team. A lot of times I hear these guys, these experts speak, they're like from rounds, late round 3 to round 7, they're just throwing picks away, getting guys on special teams, or I might be able to develop this guy in 3 years. And I feel like there's better football players than that. So I'd hope this cat that you got from Oregon could come in and it doesn't feel like a starter to me, but it does feel like a guy that could maybe push. And linebacker too is another position where we have a decent amount of bodies. Like, I like Nowaski a lot. I like the guy we got from Damone Clark. That was a guy that was coming out of school. I liked him a lot, and he just had a bunch of injuries coming out of college. He's really started to catch on. I've heard people say, "Oh, he's just maybe a special team player." I think he can do more than that. You got our top 3. You've got a couple other guys in the mix there that have shown some things. So it's like, I'm just hesitant to when do you take one, who is it, and what do they do? And speaking of chops, while you keep going, I think here in round 4, did I get this guy in round 5, I think? I did a little more work on Max Llewellyn from Iowa, edge player, when I double dipped. And this dude was all hustle, just like felt like a Lions edge player to me. Not even like a dead starter, but a guy that you're getting around 5 or 6 if he's still there. That was just like, man, this guy is just getting after the quarterback with hustle all day, making plays. So I took him, and then I did a little more work, and to me, he's like circle underlined a little bit. Max Llewellyn out of Iowa, edge player.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah. And again, another thing about this kid too that I keep hearing is that coaches love him. Like, he's gonna outwork everybody, and he's like he's one of those dudes where I feel like he leaves the interview room and every single coach looks around and goes, "Yep, we like this kid." So
okay.
That's what I'm hearing about Bryce.
And I think that's a big part of it. Like, if you've even done any homework on that, I'm proud of you, because like you could go ahead and just look at his numbers and maybe like watch a couple highlights and think you like him. Oh yeah, he's also a position we kind of need. That's like fringe level stuff. When you start diving into, man, I heard he's a good kid. He loves football. The coaches love him. He's just a great, gritty, just gonna play ball for 8+ years and love it, is the type of thing you're really looking for. Because I mean, that's even soured me a little bit on Caden Proctor. It's like, the more I've heard about him, it's like very talented, but does he have that little extra to be a Hall of Famer with his talent, or is he gonna be a guy that's just kind of good at football and talented but doesn't have that little bit extra? So yeah, I like what you did there, Choppy. I like the extra dive you're doing.
All right, buddy. Let's move on to the 5th round, pick 157. We got to keep this going. We don't have time to mess around. With the 157th pick in the 5th round, the hashtag Choppy Maki selects.
Slipping.
Katron Allen, running back, Penn State. You want to talk about a hammer? Okay, we just shipped this guy out. I know how you feel about Pacheco, but dude, this kid, big, powerful, runs through tackles like crazy, huge short yardage, goal line situations, great burst. He's got some hands too, durable, able to take a heavy workload. 15 tugs this year coming out of Penn State. A nice little almost 90 PFF grade in 12 games played, 1,300 yards. This is your jackhammer to pair with the elite. I wasn't going to make you wait for it. Jahmyr Gibbs, give me the hammer. Katron Allen.
Before I get to your selection, I think we still need work on not only you stealing of the gimmick for Jahmyr Gibbs, but your pronunciation, because it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Like you really got to work on that last name. You just said it like it was his government, like you're like your chops, which you're not when you're saying Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to really work on it a little bit, but you can leave it to me. That's okay. Here's the thing with this. When I first heard this guy's name, somewhat connected with the Lions, I was like, come on, man. Like, I don't need a round 2, round 3 Penn State running back of sorts. When we got Gibbs, we've got, like, again, Pacheco goes back to my earlier rant. I heard people say, what a great pick. We love his tenacity, the speed, this. I turned the channel. Guys are like, Pacheco's got no speed left. I don't know about that signing for the Lions. I'm like, what are these guys watching, man? This dude's not slow. He's got a few shortcomings, and yes, he's been hurt. We get it, but it was just crazy to me that a couple people said his speed's completely gone. He's washed. I'm like, I don't think so, but they teach their own. So. What I want to say about your guy is, like, obviously the name is a little bit more known. Running back here in round 5. When I've been doing my mocks, it's sort of like there's some juicy names right here in round 5 at this position. But my mind keeps telling me, wait it out, hold your water, because there's some great ones in round 6, 7 that you can snag for nothing. But this kid is one of the few, because my time's been limited, chops. I've been busy across the board. Like, I threw him on and I was surprised what I saw, because a lot of times it kind of pops off the film if a guy has just smooth running, a little bit of that power like you mentioned, just looks like a really good natural running back. That's what I saw from this guy. So I was more impressed when I watched a little bit of him than when I just read off, knew the name, knew what his game was kind of. It's when I saw it a little bit more, I was like, man, it really looks like he could be a nice complimentary back at the next level. So I like the value you got there. I like the player. I like his game. And I feel like the Lions, right around this spot, rounds 5, 6, 7, is where they're going to find a nice 2-3 type running back that's going to be right in the mix with Pacheco and Jahmyr Gibbs here on this football team.
There it is. Yeah, I again, to me, like, this kid was like projected like late second, early third, like a couple months, even just like a couple months ago, or maybe a year, leading at the end of the season. But to get him in the 5th round for me, I think is just huge value. You can't pass it up. Is running back like a huge need for me with the cats that we got? Don't forget Vaki in there too. No, but the production is there. The physicality is there. Dude averaged 6.2 yards a carry last year at Penn State. And again, he's playing against big boys in the Big Ten. So, he can produce, and I love the fit. I think he's just this... He's that guy to me that could be the complement to Jahmyr Gibbs for like 5 or 6 years, because he can just hammer the rock and give Jahmyr a break when he needs it.
Did that feel better? That just sound and just feel like more correct when you did it that second time?
It felt all right. I mean, I feel like you hit it better than I do, so, but it was all right. It was all right.
I mean, not to pile on things that I do better, but we also know that he's the multi-dimensional, positionless. Since Chops didn't make you wait, I gotta make you wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait a little bit more. Elite. Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I love everything you said, Choppy. You all said no. I think you meant this.
Nope.
During your take, but like I feel like nice selection, except for the fact, but Choppy, he's not gonna be available in round 5. What do you got to say about that?
Well, hey, like we tell the people every week, we tell them if he's available in the mock draft, you take him. Okay, I can't, I can't modify the simulator there. If he's there, I took him. If he lasts in the 5th round, I'll absolutely take him.
That is the rule, no question about it.
And this is another one, Ogre. I'm gonna dive in here. We're still in the 5th round, pick 181. We got to speed this up a little bit here. I don't have a ton of much more to say about this guy, but with the with the 181st pick in the 5th round, Choppy selects my boy Pat Coogan. I talked about him all last week. I hyped him up. You hyped him during the show in your pick. I think you actually got him in the same slot here, maybe a little bit later. But, dude, Pat Coogan, center from Indiana. I gave you all the intangibles. This is just another dude that I love. Tough, ready to play center. He's the center of the future. Again, no slight on the guys on the roster right now, but this guy is, again, over 1,000 snaps last year, national champion. I love investing in the O-line at the center position. If I get a stud tackle and a future center, I am super happy with those top 5 rounds for the Lions.
Yeah, this guy, again, on the old PFF and different simulators, he's definitely sticking out there, but there's 2 approaches. Like, one approach I've been hearing a lot is like, do the Lions love Ionye, the kid from Penn State? Would they take him high at 17? Would they put him at left guard? Him and Penn A, road graders, just nasty beast. Then you move your boy, also Christian Mahogany, to kind of that interior swing. You've also got Scruggs in there. You've got, a couple other guys that are probably going to wash out of league, be shining shoes or whatever. But I could actually see that approach, to be honest. And I've done a little homework on Ionye, and to me, he's a really nasty, good football player. Some people even saying if you really take positions out or just kind of what they do on the field, he's a top 5, 8, 10 type talent. So I'm not against that approach, even though we feel like, interior is not really a need. Well, if you get a really good player and can pen him, and we always talk about, or at least I used to say it, I don't know if I said it with you, like, one part I think in the draft is like not only upgrading, but if you can take really good players on your team and then knock them down a peg, but they're still very helpful, all that does is boost your depth, the quality of players. So, like, I'm not washing Mahogany out of the league if I take a player like that. I'm just sort of bumping him down and giving him a new role, which, again, don't put him in the Hall of Fame. He hasn't been healthy. He hasn't really shown a ton, even though we like him. But the other approach is what you did. If you just don't do that early, you can wait it out and get a guy like Coogan or get some of these late round interior players or offensive skill guys. So I think the approach you took and that I took in my mock is actually the more prudent approach. Are you going to get Pat Coogan that late or even at all? I don't know. But as long as he can play interior and has that center capability, and as you said, kind of cross-train him for a year or two and then see where Cade Mays and company are at that point, I think it's a great football player, a nice ad, and you just can't go wrong at that pick and that value, in my opinion. So I like it.
Yep. I love everything about this kid. All the things you just said there. Again, the flexibility, mostly center, but he did play a little guard on his, I think, his sophomore year. So, I went on and on and on about this kid. I think a couple of people got sick of me talking about Coogan.
I'm Livy Dunn, All-American gymnast and Viore athlete. When you travel and train as much as I do, you find happiness where you are. On the mat or on the sand, movement and comfort are essential. That's why I live in Performance Joggers by Viore. Made from DreamNet fabric that's made of 89% recycled materials, effortlessly soft and made to move as much as I do. My happiness starts here, in the softest joggers on the planet. Get 20% off your first purchase at Viore.com/Livy. That's VUORI.com/LIVVY. Exclusions apply. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to Viore.com/Livy and discover the full versatility of Viore clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
But I love the kid.
Good pick, Choppy.
Should we move on to the 6th round, Oker? We still got 3 picks to go here. I feel like we just keep going on and on and on. We got time. We don't have time to mess around. Let's go.
Bruh.
Pick 205 in the 6th round. The hashtag Choppy Maki Lion select. VJ Payne. So that's VJ, not DJ, and that's Payne with a Y, which I really love. That's a safety out of Kansas State. Again, another physical downhill safety, loves to hit. He's got good range. He has good zone coverage. Again, another dude that can play in special teams. Leadership, again, I think this was another captain that I selected in here. He's got the versatility in the safety spot. He can play the box. He can play deep. He can play the slot. Hell, they even lined him up on the D-line a couple of times. Not a lot of missed tackles. Loves to hit. Loves to cover as well. I think this is another dude that you can get in there. And again, depending on the health of Kerbo and Brian Branch, you get him in there right away. I know we got a couple others like Dan Jackson in the mix there, but I like VJ Payne, safety from Kansas State, with the 205th pick.
So what I heard you say was, go VJ?
Go VJ! That's my VJ.
I mean, it's funny enough that Brad Holmes stacks a DJ every year, but now you're going to double dip Hoosier Mandela, flip it around to we're going to have a DJ and a VJ. That's going to be something. It's going to, just like if we get my boy Montgomery that I got late, then we can bring the demo drop back. Like you're just prolonging the go DJ, that's my DJ drop, which I appreciate. Again, I hate to admit it, this is another player I don't know anything about. I haven't heard. He is not on my radar late, but this is where you're really digging. And if all the things you said are true, the toughness, the hit, the this, the that, I like all that. I do think safety is a place they can add, but I hate to say it, it's another Oakry spot where, I don't know what these guys' health are. I know that we have a couple guys we've picked up. I like Chuck Clark a lot as a veteran. Who's the other guy that we got? We got Chuck Clark, right? And then who's the other safety? Your boy Izzian, I like a lot. I've heard a lot about him, that he's just a DAWG that wants to be a starter and thinks he's a starter and has some skins on the wall and can play football. So I feel like between those guys, remember the young guys that came in last year and were like, who? And they'd come out and make plays. I mean, we're just like, we have no idea who these people are, and they're just out there doing things.
Who is this Rudy Poo?
Maddox and Whiteside and Harper and Strickland. Yeah, there was kind of the Legion of Whom. But I think if you throw in VJ, then you know who he is because he brings the pain.
I mean, you kind of have the all-name squad. You took a guy named R. You got a guy last name Payne. You took Coogan. I mean, I think you're just working the old all-name team here on this mock. But I can't hate it. You're filling needs. You're taking guys you like. You're telling me how gritty, grimy, nasty, physical they are. So I'm going to roll with you on it.
All right. Let's keep this rolling. Next pick in the 6th round, pick 213. The Oakry. No, this isn't the Oakry mock. This is the hashtag Choppy Maki Lions. Select. He hit the bell in there to correct me because I said it was his mock, but it's really mine. Daquan Wright, tight end. Ole Miss, not old. Ole Miss, right. 6'4", 255, big body tight end, multi-sport athlete, strong, solid, athletic, needs to work on his blocking a little bit, but this is a dude who's got good size, good hands, he can stretch the seam, he actually has a little bit of yak when he makes catches, 5 tugs, 635 yards from the tight end position last year, and I know how you feel about the guys we got. We all know the Laporta supporters, love them some Sammy Biscuits. You know how I feel about Big Brock, and you know how Oakry feels about Ty Conklin. But listen, you add Daquan to the mix, and it just feels right.
I like what you did there. I see what you did there. Is this guy, you kind of named him as working on his blocking. Does he have passing numbers, receiving numbers? Would you have those anywhere near you?
Yeah.
Catch the football?
Yep. 39 receptions for 635 yards, 5 tugs last year with the Rebels. So he's got, I think, 55 targets. like I said, it's a 6th-round flyer for sure. I like the tight end position. I don't mind adding a guy there. Another dude, again, he's just athletic. So I think he was a former basketball player too. So, but he also creates a bit of a mismatch, and this is kind of what I like about him too, is he throws your safeties and your linebackers off a bit because of his size. Again, 6'4", 255, and so you got to be careful because he can get sneaky out there and make you pay up the middle.
Chops, what's your preference? Like, I mean, I could tell by this mock, but if you could get a really good player that slots in at TE2 in round 2 or 4, are you more apt to do that, or you think it's more prudent to just really wait it out and try to get a guy in round 5, 6, even 7 that can maybe more of a blocker, maybe just a project player, a guy with a little bit of size and ability? I mean, it is tight end, and one thing I've always kind of said, or I've learned over the years about tight end, is like, I don't call it a luxury pick because it can be a mismatch, as well as all these teams running the 3 tights, the 2 tights, all these different crazy offenses like Drew, who is going to be doing maybe here. But I think tight ends, when you really look at their numbers, like the great ones are getting 600 and a handful of touchdowns, so the real good players might get in the double-digit touchdowns, but their yards and stuff still aren't there. So it is a little bit hard for me to make a higher pick unless they can kind of do it all, or unless you got concerns about your TE1 and need a guy that can really be that top tier TE2 right away and make plays. So where you at with all that?
Yeah, I think it depends on the player. Like, I loved the guy you took last week in Klein, and you took him, I think, in the 4th round. So I love that player, I don't hate that pick. But for me, I thought I like Conklin. I think Big Brock has more to give. Sammy Biscuits is going to be healthy. So for me, a late 6th round flyer on Daquan made sense to me. Again, I think he's like one of those dudes too where, he probably doesn't play a ton, but when he gets out there and you're just like, he gets a random 30-yard touchdown, you're like, oh, all right, there you go, way to go, Daquan. So I don't know, I think he's a good dude there, and he's also a pretty big red zone coverage too. So if you want to get a little versatile with that 6'4" frame, you can drop some plays, and like you mentioned, Drew, who could utilize this weapon late in the round.
Besides all the stats, the numbers, the takes, again, I gotta admit, Daquan, another nice name to add to your team, and
yes,
then can you imagine all the puns and goofiness that we could do with Wright as a last name? I mean, that fits in well with the pod too, I must admit. But the other contradictory point I would say with the tight end is, like, to me, to be honest, when I'm picking later, I'm looking for lottery tickets, or I guess if I need special teams type players, that seems to be more what teams go for. So that's why you see me a lot of times taking QBs, taking a high-end flight, fast, productive receiver, or even, like I always say, a lot of times you can find interior linemen that you don't even know their name or where they came from, and they can be a good depth or even a starter. So, like, I lean, I guess, more towards those guys, because if you're looking at dollars that make sense, tight ends don't make a ton, so spending late picks on them, you're kind of like, even if they turn out to be a stud, you're not getting that incredible benefit. But, I mean, again, you can't go wrong with good football players. But I guess later is when I'm trying to take bigger swings at times, too. I don't know if you considered that or not, but that's why you see me take the QBs or the high upside players at times.
Yeah, no, I think that for me in this pick, and I'll just be completely honest, I was kind of teetering between him and a couple of wide receivers. And I'm like, all right, like, 2 of the guys that are my late round flyers, I'm not going to give you their names right now, but they were just selected at like 210 and I think 206. And so I was like, all right, cool. Daquan is a name that I've been kind of eyeing up on at the tight end spot. So, but again, I kind of like you said, I like that late round flyer on a wide receiver who's maybe something that can, be something that people aren't expecting. But in this case, I think Daquan has the opportunity to be there. He's the right pick for the Lions at 213.
And people, I hate to pull the curtain back too much, but you know why Chop said I'm not going to give you those right now? He's doing the, hide the fantasy football wide receiver that he thinks is some stud that is in round 7 of the NFL draft, that he thinks he's going to get an RSO in round 5. That's going to be...
No one goes to Hank's for spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any 2 Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
A starting productive player when we know that's not going to happen. So there you go, people.
We know all 32 members of that RFL league and the RSO, Reality Sports Online, they all listen to the show, buddy. They all listen to the show. We are literally giving you draft gold to compete against us in fantasy football. So you got to keep some of those names tight to the chest. They're going to have to listen to the 12-hour marathon to hear us talk about them when it comes to draft day.
And I'm not going to lie that the back half of the Oakrey binder is running backs, wide receivers, tights. And you want to know why? Yeah, for the Lions, but also fantasy football, rookie drafts. There you go.
There you go. There you go. All right, Oakrey, are we ready to wrap up this hashtag shopping maki?
We got to wrap it up. I feel like it's been good stuff. What else we got? 222 Rodwood Drive. What do we got?
Here we go. Round 7. Oakrey, you're going to be happy with this pick because I kind of teased him last week. I thought he was who you were going with, but you did the switchamadilla. Look over here. Don't look over there. My guy, 2-2-2 quarterback, Cole Payton from the North Dakota State Bison. We know who's come out of there before. This dude, athletic quarterback, good size, good mobility. He can run the ball, smart player, total leader. Again, he's run a pro-style offense, very run-heavy there at North Dakota State. But again, this is a nice project, a good development quarterback. Maybe for the love of God, we can get a quarterback who can back up Jared Goff for the next 6 years. Again, good tradition coming out of NDS. With quarterbacks that have come there, athletic, very, very low risk, big upswing here in the 7th round. I like Cole Payton.
All right. I don't have a deep dive. I know North Dakota State wins lots of games. When you say pro style, they run a lot of the play action, which your boy likes, Jared Goff, and we do as well.
Yep.
So seems like a bit of a fit. I don't know. I feel like you do kind of got to get QBs in the pipeline, but the hard part about that is what if they never play? What if they never help your football team? That they just sit there and hand out Gatorade and Teddy Bridgewater comes back for this year, next year. Like, how many times are they going to bring that guy back? So
you mean like Hendon Hooker, H2O?
It feels like a good investment when you do it, but then you're like sitting there going, man, I could have got that stud receiver. I could have beefed up this position or that position. And instead, you got a QB that will either washed out or maybe they're real good, but they're never better than your guy. And they don't do anything. So I like what you're doing. You like this player. I'm still going for the Taylor Green type who just has freakish athleticism and is totally different than Jared Goff from that perspective. But I get it. QB, you throwing a dart there. I don't mind it.
Yeah, and again, just some of these numbers that he's got, man. Like in 2025, a passing grade of 94, deep grade of 99.9, no pressure grade of 94, pressure grade of 90. Like the kid can, he can scramble, he can move, he runs in that pro style. I think this is a type of dude that actually can be mentored by Jared Goff. I heard some people say, kind of comparing him like the Taysom Hill, some flexibility in the position there. But again, only 4 picks and 16 tugs. And, like I said, I think for me, this is a dude that I would like to take and have sit behind Jared Goff, learn the offense. In your best case scenario, he never plays. But at that point, you're picking pick 2-2-2. So if he never plays, okay, so what?
Real quick, I know we're almost over an hour here, but there is a Taysom Hill in this draft, the kid out of Georgia Tech. If Dan Freaky Campbell wants to get Taysom Hill part 2, kid's a just nasty, great kid, good football player, runs tough, all that type of stuff. So if I'm taking my last pick in the draft and I want a somewhat developmental quarterback, but a guy that can run all the gadgets and run the football and score inside the red zone type or inside the 10-yard line, I'm circling that kid from Georgia Tech. The name escapes me right now, but he's a late round flyer QB as well.
Are you talking about Haynes King?
Yes. Why is he not on your all name team? Haynes King. That's just going to sell jerseys right there. Plus, he's I don't tell him to throw it through a keyhole, but he can do a lot of other things that are intriguing if you want to have a gadget quarterback. So.
Well, I had him further out. He's more like an undrafted rookie. Somebody snags him up here. And again, if I had a V.J. Payne, I had to get a Cole Payton.
Yeah, I mean, again, these names are so ridiculous. Chops, do we have another pick? Because I don't even know what other name you're gonna come up with. It's gonna have to top R and Payne and Coogan and all these crazy ones. What else we got here? Finish this up.
That is the 7-round hashtag choppy mocky 9 picks. I can give you the rundown if you want it again, but Okri, I felt not only does this list fit the Lions, all these names have a little bit of intrigue. They all fit the
names have intrigue. Right?
DKC.
The names definitely have intrigue, as well as odd spellings and funny gimmicks and lots of things built in there.
How could you go wrong with a R, Tacario, Katron, VJ, Daquan? Come on, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, incredible. Let's end it with this, man. I feel like you and me did similar things, though. We kind of played the board. You let it fall to us. We took positions that we kind of need. We took guys that either we like or you thought fit the pick from a selection standpoint. Chops, to end the show, I just really feel like Brad Holmes has something cooking that's going to be out of the norm. He's doing all this extra work. He's skipping GM coach conferences. He's not having internal combines. I heard today that there's no reporting of anyone that's visited the Lions, which normally you get 10, 20, 30 different names that come out pretty easily from agents and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this football team, and I can't tell if it's because they're cooking up something big or they're going to throw us the big-time sport we shall not speak of, where they call it a pitch, or some type of curveball. I don't even like to say those words because, the sport, but it's something is going on where I feel like this is going to get crazy on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And to be honest, I'm here for it because I feel like if you look at the track record, it's much better than we've had in the past. People are like, oh, it hasn't been good the last... I mean, again, you're not letting these people season or develop at all. So I feel like I'm going to trust Brad freaking Holmes and Dan. Well, Brad used to be open for business, definitely open for business in a week from now. Holmes and Dan freaking Campbell to do what they do. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Look, we saw the press conference, and you know how it goes, right? Anytime Brad Holmes goes, yeah, man, I think we've done a lot of aggressive things here. In fact, some people say we're a little too aggressive. I don't know if he really misread that question. If he meant hey, Brad, are you willing to give up 4 picks for one dude that you love in the draft? I didn't really take it that was the question. I thought the question was more hey, are you willing to go F dem picks to go get a stud? But he kind of twisted it and put it into his own words. There's some definite reaction there. But look, anytime the guy goes, Yeah, man, I don't think we need to reach for edge or tackle. I think we're good, man. We're good. That actually means, no, we're not good. We need an edge. We need a tackle. We got the list. They're top of the list. We got a list of names. We're going to move up and get one if we want one. We're going to shift a little back if we think he's dropping. But, again, I know that people Brad Holmes keeps things tight to the chest. We've got our list. He's got his own list. Dan freaking Campbell's got his own list too. So, the only thing that I can tell you is, Okri, whatever we think, we have no idea.
Exactly. And everybody, we're creeping over the hour mark, but here's what we're going to do. Me and Chops are going to sign off here. We've got a lot of work that we're going to try to do, but we might not have time for on prepping for next Thursday, Friday. We're going to be live on the microphones. We're going to try to have the Google Sheet rolling. I'm going to be working at DTO Scouting Office. You're going to have content. Between now and then, will you get another one of those Kool-Aid Pack? Maybe you'll get a Kool-Aid packet. Maybe you won't. TBD if you ask me, but we'll see it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll go well. Maybe it won't. But come draft day, I swear, you're getting an 8-hour show on Thursday, an 8+ hour show probably mixed together or whatever on the Friday. Of course, Chops taking off the Saturday to go, coach Blue Line or show his kids what a great skater he is. I don't know what he does. I guess he's Coach Chops, but I'll be here day 3 making crazy picks when the Lions are on the clock and working those boards. So, everybody, that's what we got. And we'll catch you either before or definitely next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Okay, everybody. We're out.
Our pain, right?
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions.
Drink it in, man.